Hello all, it's Lockstin. Welcome to my universe. Today I'd like to tell you all a little bit about myself. Did you know that I'm actually part Hawaiian? I mean, just look at my complexion, it speaks for itself. Okay, it's such a small part that it barely even counts anymore, but my dad grew up there, and I've been there myself, and I do have very, very close cousins who are completely native Hawaiian. And they've taught me a bunch of stuff about the place. So the new Pokemon, Sun and Moon, are based in Hawaii, and Hawaii has tons of unique species of animals specifically found only there. So now would be the perfect time to introduce new Pokemon based on these specific animals, and based on Hawaiian mythology. And after the reveal of this new koala Pokemon, I can see that, yeah, they are definitely using this opportunity to introduce Pokemon based on animals from the same region.
Lockstin, koalas are from Australia, not Hawaii.
Very, very true. Though Australia, New Zealand, all the way up to Hawaii, and all these islands in between are all part of the same region, Oceania, or Polynesia, or there's a bunch of terms for it, but essentially, this whole area here on the map is one pseudo-continent. So technically, yes, they are still part of the same region. Kinda. Sorta. But hey, everyone, I'd like to introduce you to Speqtor, a fellow Pokemon master.
That I am, and over on my channel, Lockstin and I discuss a similar topic about which already existing Pokemon will likely be in Pokemon Sun and Moon. Link to that here and in the description, but in the meantime, yeah, what Hawaiian animals would be perfect to introduce in Generation 7? A lot of the most famous Hawaiian animals are already Pokemon, like fish and sea turtles, and mongoose, and bats, and manta rays, and seals, and plenty of plants. And this is what we discuss over on my channel, but what are some that are not?
Well, right away, let's get the obvious out of the way. A Dolphin Pokemon. Speed-based, probably a pure water type. That would be the perfect time to introduce that. Another Pokemon could be based on the Sea Urchin, possibly a poison water type with the Poison Touch ability, so if your Pokemon physically touches it, there's a chance they get poisoned. It could start off small, and then as it evolves, it gets bigger and more terrifying, and eventually it can, shoot its spikes out. Ooh.
As with every new Pokemon generation, there are bound to be some species variants that are getting Pokemon as well. By that, I mean that although we do have bird and crab Pokemon, it is still possible for us to get new bird Pokemon and crab Pokemon. The coconut crab would make for a good Pokemon, perhaps literally making it a coconut crab. One idea is that it could be a grass and water type and have a very high defense and attack stat. Also, since Hawaii is famous for its volcanoes, we could see the rise of a new lava or volcano Pokemon, despite already having Camerupt and Slugma. Maybe instead of a pure lava or volcano Pokemon, we could get a rock Pokemon based on the porous lava rock. Maybe when it evolves, it could gain the fire typing and have little bits of lava spewing out from the holes in the rock. Or maybe an Obsidian Pokemon. Obsidian is a type of volcanic glass that is formed when standing lava is cooled very rapidly, normally with water. Speaking of rocks, I would love to see a rock and grass Pokemon that looks like a rock with a bunch of moss and fungus growing all over it. Or maybe even a rock wall from some kind of ruins, with arms and legs growing off of it, of course.
And you know what else Hawaii is famous for? Bugs. Oh my goodness, so many bugs, they're crawling everywhere. Hawaii has more bugs found nowhere else in the world than almost any other part in the world. So this could be a very bug-friendly gen. But which bugs would be the best? Firstly, the cockroach.
Ugh, aren't those typically associated with cities? Hawaii has Honolulu, but other than that, it isn't known for its big cities.
Well, yeah, but get this. Most parts of the world have about 3 to 4 different types of cockroaches living in them. Hawaii has 19. Meaning right now is the perfect time for a cockroach Pokemon, possibly a bug poison type. Maybe with the sturdy ability, since cockroaches are known for being so resilient. It could be the new pollution Pokemon, along the likes of Coughing, Garbodor, and Muck. Why did I say coughing instead of wheezing?
Speaking of bugs, how about a new spider? We already have the bug poison type Ariados and the bug electric type Galvantula, but now is the perfect time to introduce a bug psychic spider. Perhaps a peacock spider or any type of tropical spider with vibrant and hypnotic designs. The peacock spider just fits here because the eye in its design could represent the psychic third eye. And quickly going through some more, now is the perfect time for a hummingbird, an aquatic snake, a softshell turtle, a kiwi bird, and a lizard or two. There still aren't any Anole or iguana Pokemon.
And now on to the much more fun, more obscure options. Speqtor, do you know what I want to see more than anything?
What?
I want to see a grass dragon Pokemon. based on the dragon fruit. That would be awesome. Also, there's the
Humu humu nuku, that's the Ozone song.
Humu humu nuku nuku apua.
Wow, I'm impressed, True Green 7.
Oh, thank you.
It's also known as the reef triggerfish, and it is Hawaii's state fish. So if any fish deserves to be a Pokemon, it's this one, and it could have some ridiculous name too. And also, perhaps the most unique bug in all of Hawaii is the Carnivorous Caterpillar, known as the Eupathesia, or however you say that. Its legs are only on its ends, and most caterpillars only eat leaves and such, but this one can camouflage as a stick and at high speed attack its prey. It eventually evolves, or metamorphosizes, into a moth that looks like tree bark. So perhaps it could have the rough skin ability? Oh, and here's a neat idea. Bring back the Flabebe line, but perhaps give it a new variant instead of having some boring little French flower. Pfft, who wants that? Give it some awesome tropical flowers. Some really cool orchids. Everything else in its stats are completely identical. It's the same Pokemon in every way except looks. It's just like a different form.
Also, did you know that Hawaii has a lot of wild donkeys? There still isn't a donkey Pokemon. There also isn't a Wallaby, and the bush-tailed rock Wallaby is found in Hawaii. I can imagine it evolving into a kangaroo as well, probably a ground and fighting type. And why not a pineapple Pokemon? High defense, rough skin ability. And what about a sugarcane Pokemon? High speed stat, and maybe a grass electric sugarcane rodent. Also, by the way, sharks. I know that there's Sharpedo, but those, well, it's Sharpedo. And there are tons of different sharks. Now is a good time to bring in a new one. And speaking of sharks, they are bound to be important in Hawaiian mythology, right, Lockstin?
Very right. There is Ukupanipo, the shark god of fishing, and more interestingly, Kauhuhu. It's a shark-human hybrid that is the guardian of Hawaii. Another mythical Hawaiian animal are the Kamapua, wild boar men that can transform into kukui trees.
I can imagine its evolution line. A piglet seed with the roots growing out like the swirly tail, a pig sapling of a kukui tree, and then a full-sized boar merged with a kukui tree with its nuts hanging out and... Oh god, no, not like that. Kukui nuts.
Also, Hawaiian dragons are a thing. They are all-female, shape-shifting water dragons. And they're called the Mu. The Mo'o. As for tiki gods, there is Poliahu, the goddess of the snow who resides atop the mountain known as Mauna Kea. Yes, there is snow in Hawaii, but exclusively on the top of this one mountain. This one mountain, by the way, if you measure it from its oceanic base, is the actual tallest mountain in the world. Not the highest, but the tallest, from base to top.
Ghost rock type is a combination that hasn't been done yet, and I've heard of Milu, the Hawaiian god of the dead who can turn people into stone. But I doubt there will be a ton of tiki Pokemon. Maybe one or two, maybe a legendary, or maybe even a legendary trio.
That would actually work perfectly because there is a Hawaiian trinity of gods. Ku, grass fighting, god of war, and the moon. A feathered tiki, though he doesn't fly that often. Lono, grass, water? God of agriculture, rain, fertility, and the earth. And is literally a sweet potato with a face. Cain, grass flying, god of life, sky, and sun. Though often this Hawaiian trinity is also referred to as the Hawaiian quadrinity. Quadrinity? Quadrinity, as some scholars add Kanaloa, who would possibly be Dark Fairy, but this god is often separated from the others, making them a trinity, mainly because he did not do very much, like at all, but is the god of magic, and the ruler of southern Hawaii. Also Kanaloa and Cain were super tight, and thus some sources consider them to count as one entity. Anyway, a Tiki legendary trio would be really cool, but I'd also be fine with Tiki being represented by just some Pokemon also. Right now is the perfect time to introduce a grass fire Pokemon, based on a Tiki. Tikis were often made of wood or rock, and would have torches inside of them, on fire, and yes, even the wood ones. So a wooden Tiki Pokemon with glowing eyes and fire coming out of its mouth would be awesome. Plus, there's the Hawaiian tradition of fire dancing, where you dance with fire, obviously, but while wearing grass skirts and such. There are plenty of opportunities here for these two opposite typings to finally meet.
I can definitely agree, but most of these ideas probably won't come to fruition, though it is fun to speculate. And if you click here, you can see me and Lockstin speculate more about Pokemon Sun and Moon. There we talk about what already existing Pokemon would best fit the Alola region. It's pretty fun, and I hope to see you there.
So what are your ideas for new Pokemon? Let me know down below. And remember to stay awesome and keep using that noggin.